Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. We are moving along with our week, again, for many here in the Northeast. I know different parts of the country start school different times, but here in the New York, New Jersey area, day after Labor Day, first day of school, you could hear parents rejoicing all across the state. Although actually some of the schools began last week in the public schools, but I know the yeshivas are starting mostly today. And my son off to school today, so maybe you hear a little extra pep in my step as well. Really excited about that. Daughter left yesterday to Eretz Yisrael. Such a tremendous chus. And we continue to daven for Chaylei Tzva Haganah Yisrael for Shlomo Chol B'Tzvei Yisrael and the safe return of our hostages. And we learn each day Lil Nishmat Ser Daniel Shimon Rav Dov Vishal Shem Kam Damo. And as I mentioned yesterday, special dedication. Our learning is sponsored for the entire week in honor of and in memory of Sir Devora Bas Rav Yaakov HaKohen. This is Devora Brickman, Zichrono Livracha, whose yahrzeit is being observed today, her first yahrzeit. Someone who is extremely close to our family and to our community. Very much missed, but left a tremendous legacy. And Baruch Hashem, simchas have followed her. In the year since her patir, there have been simchas in the mishpacha, a great-grandchild born bearing her name. So we have to always take the sadness and the gladness and we pair them together, and hopefully we take our steps forward. But again, our love and thoughts with the entire family on this day and her first yahrzeit. And again, what an incredible way to memorialize someone by dedicating Torah learning, because of course that's the legacy that she left. So let us continue where we left off with the tremendous cliffhanger from yesterday. I know everybody was just waiting with bated breath. Can I have coffee before davening? Am I allowed? Kafei tev ugos lifnei tefillah. Haraga lishtos te o kafei b'boker. Someone who regularly drinks tea or coffee in the morning, ubiladehem ein datu meis yasheves halav, and without it, can't think straight. So we all know people like this. Can't do anything without my coffee. I have a cup somewhere, I think it says, ein kafeh ein avodah, meaning if there's no coffee, then nothing's getting done. So in that instance, you can all breathe a sigh of relief because now you're allowed to drink them before davening. Because this is not considered arrogance, it's not haughtiness, it's not being supercilious, but rather this is considered a need. So therefore, one can concentrate, you can put your mind at ease, or you can be able to focus on the davening ahead. But there's some people who don't need coffee right away, but only a couple of hours into the day. So therefore, in the days of the week, when davening is shorter, so it's better that they shouldn't drink coffee before davening. However, on Shabbos and Yom Tov, when the davening is longer, because in some places the always geschlept, and davening takes a very long time, mutav sheyishtu kafei lifnei tefillah, then they can certainly drink coffee before davening. Misha miskasher lishtos es hakafeh atebel sukar, and if a person has difficulty in drinking coffee or tea without sugar or some sort of sweetener, rishoy la'ariv behem sukar kadei shuch lishtos liyashev dato, one is allowed to mix in sugar in order to have his mind put at ease and to be able to focus. Avalo yosif chalav bekafeh, however, one should not put milk in the coffee. However, if one cannot drink black coffee, one cannot drink coffee without milk, there are people like that, then you're allowed to add the milk to the coffee, because again, this is not considered arrogance, this is considered part of the need. So these are interesting questions. The reason why I mentioned the sugar, if one would look at the Halacha and the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Berurah has an extremely long treatise on how or if you could put sugar inside and how to put the sugar. He mentions the old European minhag. You might have seen old European Jews who would actually filter the coffee through a sugar cube in their mouths. I've seen this. Place a sugar cube in their mouth and they would drink the tea and the coffee. And that's how, instead of adding the sugar, they would use it as some sort of filter. So that's the real question Mishnah Berurah discusses. But nowadays we just add some sort of sugar. Maybe people don't even use sugar anymore. They use all other types of sweeteners. So if one can't have the coffee without it, certainly would be permissible. So, full disclosure, I drink coffee before davening. Helps me concentrate, helps me just get my day started right. So I have a little bit of coffee certainly before davening every day. Lifnei Tefillah Shabbos, Rabbi Makilim Le'echol Lagos. Before Shabbos davening, many are makil, many are lenient to eat cookies. He says, however, this is a mistake, and they don't necessarily have anyone on whom to rely. Because we permitted drinking coffee because it's like water. Because somebody needs the caffeine. They need to get the caffeine in their system, and then they won't be able to concentrate. However, eating cake and cookies is something that is prohibited before davening. However, unless someone is extremely hungry, or he thinks that maybe because of the course of the long davening that he's going to become very hungry, until he would not be able to concentrate properly on tefillah, then he's allowed to eat a little bit before davening. I'll share with you the note that's here regarding, it's note number 9, regarding coffee. He quotes from Isha Yisrael regarding cookies as well. He says, he says, some say that it's better to daven b'yechidus, daven alone, rather than to eat before davening. That means you can differentiate between a meal or just a snack. If he needs a full meal, then yeah, you should daven alone and then have your full meal. But if he can only have a little bit, if he's enough, he could suffice with achilas haray, then you could eat a little bit. So just practically speaking, then if someone, let's say, it's more practical on a Shabbos morning. Shabbos morning, davening is going to be a couple of hours, and you're not going to make it till Kiddush. You can have a little snack, a little something, just a little sustenance. Again, that's not considered gaiva. It's similar to the coffee in which you're using that so you'll be able to concentrate on your tefillah and not suffer from any sort of hunger issues. So these are practical. We're going to see some more about eating as we go forward, but in the meantime, you can all breathe a sigh of relief, have a coffee. Now, it doesn't mean you should go to Starbucks and get all the fancy, like, latte, schmatte, bate, whatever it is. Just to have a little cup of coffee, a little sip or something to get you going in the morning certainly is within the realm of permissibility in this area of halacha. So, thank you for joining us today. Please continue davening for Chayei Tzvah and Yisrael for Shlem L'chol Petuei Yisrael and the safe return of our hostages. Today, observing the first yahrzeit. Sarah Devar Bas Rabbi Yaakov HaKohen. Your holy neshama have an aliyah. Thank you so much to the family for sponsoring our learning this week. And we thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you here next time. Have a great day.